It's time now for the award-winning #1 local talk show in Northeast Pennsylvania, The Sam Lesante Show. Now here's your host, Sam Lesante.
So my friends, what's happening in the Hazleton area school district with all this craziness that's happening in the country today? You know, are the kids going to go to school? What's happening? The schedules, the changes, and driving everyone crazy. From the superintendent down to all those school board directors, etc., just trying to make the right decisions. So hopefully we could bring some order here on today's show. My guest is Brian Uplinger, who is the superintendent of the Hazleton Area School District. It's the first time he's ever been on the Sam Lesante Show. How come you haven't been on before? I'm telling you.
Busy.
Busy. Yeah. Well, Brian, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
I know you work with our news department all the time,
I
and,
do, yes.
and you're here doing things with Lisa and Kenny and my daughter Janine. Tell me a little bit about yourself, because maybe some people don't know who Brian Uplinger is.
Sure, yeah. Originally from Central PA, Reynoldsville, DuBois area. Graduated from there in 1990, so this is my 30th year out of high school. And oddly enough, we had a graduate this year, so 30 years ago we had, I was graduating too. We have 4 children, varying ages, and we have one left in school, because I just said, we had one graduate, so we have one left in school, and she is at Valley Elementary, and happily married for 24 years, and it's going very well.
That's good. So you're originally from Central Pennsylvania.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. When did you go into education? Did you start off as a teacher, or what was it?
Well, it was, I would say the thing that really sparked my interest in education was when I was a lifeguard. We taught swimming lessons. Mm-hmm. So like, I think I can do this. It's really, I love it. I love being with kids, and I love doing this. So let me think about it. It was when I was 15, so kind of had a few more years to decide which way I was going to go. But eventually, it took me into this path, and here I am.
Did you start off as a school teacher?
I didn't, actually. I started off as an aide in a life skills classroom, and I've been in. That was for a year, and then I was hired full-time in the St. Mary's Area School District, and also as their head swimming and diving coach for 7 years, I'm sorry. And from there, everything kind of one thing led to another.
Yeah. What did it lead to?
Went from the classroom to an assistant principal position in Erie, Pennsylvania. From there, a month into my position, unfortunately, the principal of the junior senior high school had passed away. So the superintendent looked to me and said, "Hey, I know you've only been here a month. Let's try you out." So 3 months later, through the whole interview process and all of that, I became principal of the junior senior high. Mm-hmm. Stayed there for 5 years. While I was doing that, I was working on my superintendent letter of eligibility, and and speaking with that superintendent, who is now passed, unfortunately, great guy. So why do you want to be a superintendent? He said, "You're just crazy." I said, "Well, someday I want to grow up to be like you." Mm-hmm. So got my letter, applied to a few different places, and became an assistant superintendent at Northwestern Lehigh. Mm-hmm. From there, I was there about 3 years, and in that span of time there, learned a lot from central office experience. Moved from there to Pine Grove as superintendent.
Oh, yeah.
Was there for 3 years. Then a position opened back towards Pittsburgh in Central Green School District. From there, I was there for 4 years, and now back here.
So the interesting thing is about the changes, okay? Because people say, well, okay, you keep a job, you keep traveling all over the place. I think every job opportunity or every profession you go into, you learn something from that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and so you're dealing with different school districts. Okay, so what did you gain by all those different things? What knowledge did you gain?
Yeah, so many different perspectives. So many, and obviously this is the largest district that I've ever been in charge of, and it's phenomenal. I love the size. The people are wonderful. No issues. Outside of maybe a complaint here or there that that somebody thank you, that doesn't agree with what we're doing. But a lot of different perspectives in all of those positions, and it wasn't that I needed to leave those positions that I was in. It was the opportunity arose, and I took advantage of it.
What did you learn most, Brian, from your different transitions in different areas? Because you're going in different areas of culture and different areas of people, lifestyles, etc. What did you pick up from that?
I think the most important thing is kids are kids. It doesn't matter where they come from. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter what socioeconomic background they have. The kids are kids. Mm-hmm. They want to learn. They want a routine. They want to be loved. So that's what I've inspired to do, and that's what I try to continue to do with every child that I meet and every child that I'm in contact with. Hey, I'm here for you. Just let me know what you need, and we'll get it done. You've
had experience as being a superintendent. Okay, so now a position comes available in the Hazleton Area School District.
Right.
How did you approach it? First of all, what homework did you do?
Well, I did research the district quite a bit.
What did you find?
That it very diverse population, and at first I'm like, I would say the size kind of. I was a little bit apprehensive of the size because I've only been in smaller districts. Mm-hmm. But speaking with my wife and going through that whole process, I said, here's an opportunity that I could throw my hat in a ring for a much larger job and see how I do, with that. Very successful in every other position that I had, so let's try this. Yeah. I've been here, this is going on my third year now, and I think doing pretty good.
Yeah, the interesting, I ask you those questions because, people come in, if you had to describe what a superintendent is, okay, what would be your description of your job?
Well,
I know there's a litany that we
litany, litany of different things. Yeah. I would say
the key means a synopsis.
Yeah, the key is educational leader. And I also throw in there operational leader. Big time, yeah. Because we wear, as you know, we wear multiple hats. But first and foremost, I'm there for the children. Mm-hmm. We need to make sure they're getting everything they need. We provide them with the tools for success. We can't make them successful. Yeah. We can just provide the tools and say, that's a choice you make once you leave our care. But yeah, an educational leader, operational leader, those types of things come first. Certainly, I love the staff. They're fantastic. They do a great job with our children. But primarily, we're all there. We're all there for the children. So that's the key.
What was your key? What was the board's key concern during the interview process? Because there was a few other ones that interviewed for the job. What was the board's key concern?
I think at the time was looking at different lenses for our special education population, our ELL population, the budget. What experiences did I have as a central office person in my previous experiences? What new experiences would I bring to the table? An outside, fresh look, different eyes, overseeing the projects and things that would be encountering during my tenure. But I think it was mainly that, those areas. How are we going to increase student achievement? My first year, I put together a plan to do that specific thing. We're doing great. We're moving very quickly through the plan. Certainly, this COVID situation has thrown a little bit of a monkey wrench in it, but we're doing very, very well. Yeah. Scores are increasing constantly with the students.
Yeah, and here again, I said to you prior to the show, when I taught in the school district, I have compassion for all teachers. Yes. To me, you can't pay them enough. I know people say, they're not. You can't pay a teacher enough today what they go through, and thank God we have the teachers we have. And the aides, those aides, I'll tell you, God bless them. They really work, and people do not know what the aides really do, okay, and how they help, some of these kids who are unfortunate that don't have the lifestyle at home, and here's an aide that always works with them. So hats off to the aides, and I think you know that, Brian.
Yes.
Okay. What was the biggest thing, other than you said, that you brought to the table, as a superintendent for our district?
I think, again, going back to kind of replaying the interview process in my mind. It was very rigorous and very well put together. I met with staff, I met with students, I met with board members, I met with the community, and answered a litany of questions on what I could bring to the table. And I think the overwhelming majority of folks were, he's bringing a fresh set of eyes to the table, that with the opportunities that I've had or the experiences that I've had, that I could really lend a different perspective on everything that's going on.
When you come into an area and you have all factions, you have an older set of people of middle age and younger age, there's always questions that people have, particularly with the hiring process.
Sure.
Okay, and I'm not going back to ancient years, but there's been a lot of different concerns about the hiring process, etc. And I have to tell you, you have a great board.
We do.
Linda Cosmo and her group. I mean, you have a very good working school board. They are to be commended, really. Yes. And I hear again, the public really sometimes don't understand what they have to do, but they work with you, and I don't think they smother you.
No, not by any means.
I think they let you do what you have to do.
Exactly, and that's so important to be able to do my job. And they do that so well. Hey, Brian, this is your district. We're here to support. We'll help you any way we need to, but we're here for you.
Well, they give input.
Yeah, they do. Absolutely.
As I said to Tom Leary when I interviewed him, he's the president. The job of any trustee or school board is to see that the district is properly run, not to run it.
Correct.
Okay, that's what they hired you for. Okay, what are your ideas in hiring? What do you look for in the hiring process?
We look for the best fit. And not necessarily the most experience. Someone has to start somewhere. But we look in an interview, I always look to, is that interviewee or that person we're potentially going to hire, is that person going to be a good fit for the team that we've already built? It doesn't matter what position it is. Are they going to be a good fit for that position? Are they going to do well with our student population? Knowing the positions that we may have open, a paraprofessional or a teacher or an administrator, it doesn't matter. Food service, it doesn't matter. Still the same thing has to apply. Kids come first, and that's the most important thing that we have to get out there, and for people to realize that we are here for the kids, and everyone that we hire has that in their head that I'm here to serve, and we've done, I think, in the 3 years that I've been here, starting my third year, we've done a pretty good job on bringing people in.
Considering the factors, et cetera, and the fact that you're able to work with people. Now, you have a lot of areas that it's a big district. What is it, the third largest in the state of Pennsylvania?
No, it's 12th.
12, yeah, I'm sorry, 12th largest.
Yeah, we moved from 15 to 12.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's still huge. I mean,
it's very huge.
Very huge. And also, to be able to put everything in perspective, and you're dealing in all these different areas, do you have periodic meetings with the various principals or heads, or how do you keep control, or not control, but your finger on the pulse here?
Sure, I do. I visit the buildings periodically, and it's a process where please don't be afraid that I'm coming into your room. Yeah. Please don't be afraid that I'm popping into your building. I'm not here to critique. I'm here to just see. Yeah. And if there's anything I can lend my services to, that's why I'm here. Yeah. It's important for me to be out with the kids. It's important with me to be out with the teachers and the other administrators. We do meet monthly as an administrative group. All the principals and my cabinet, we meet monthly. Now that it's summer, our cabinet, we typically meet weekly, every Monday. But now that it's summer, we go every other week, just to give everybody a break that,
Sure.
we're not talking at one another anymore.
Right.
And not just meet to meet.
Right.
That it doesn't solve any problems, just to sit and look at one another. But Yeah, the most important thing is getting out and making sure that I'm visible and knowing, letting the teachers and staff know that I'm available. Same with the students. I have a number of students that always reach out and they have questions. Hey, sorry to bother you. You're not bothering me. That's why I'm here. They'll email me, they'll send me a message on Facebook or whatever.
You're wide
I
open,
answer.
that's for sure.
Wide open.
Yeah, you're wide open.
open.
Folks, I'm talking to Brian Uplinger, who is a superintendent of the Hazelton Area School District. Well, we know a little bit about himself now. Let's talk about, when we come back in the break, what's going on with this craziness, with this pandemic, and how everything has just been, how do you put things back in order and be sane? Well, we're going to try to talk about that when we come back after these messages. Stay with us. Welcome back to the Sam Lesante Show, folks, 24/7, ssptv.com. My email is sam@ssptv.com. Thank you so much for those people who responded to our questionnaire surveys about our programming, and we're very pleased with the results. My guest is Brian Uplinger. He is the superintendent of the Hazelton Area School District, and I said before when I opened the show, this is insane what's going on in our country today, and you know, we have to face with it, and you have to make decisions that, you know, you're torn in different areas. So where are we now with registration, food distribution, whatever?
Sure. Registration is 100% online right now. So if anyone is coming into the area, moving into the area, new kindergarten registrations, anything of that nature, everything is on our website. We're not accepting any registrations in the office yet. That will open eventually, but right now everything's online, and they can upload all of the information to our Skyward system.
How do they do that?
They would go to hasdk12.org and look for the tab at the top that says registration, and all of the information is there,
Okay.
both in English and Spanish.
Okay. So that's how they register.
That's how they register, yes.
Okay. And what about current activities right now? Food distribution?
Yes. Food distribution is continuing throughout the summer, just as it had when all of this came to a head and we had to leave. We continued distributing food. It's available. All of the information, again, is we have our own Facebook page, so we post a lot of information there. We try to update our website constantly. I have a Twitter account. I created an Instagram account for the district, so we're open. You know, we have all of the information out on those sites. If you have any questions concerning the food service distribution or anything like that, please give us a call. If it's not me and I can't answer it, I'll make sure that I get an answer for them. So yeah, all the information is out there, and we'll continue through the course of the summer in providing lunches to all of our students.
Okay, so where do you think we are in terms of getting our schools open again?
The biggest thing we need to do is make sure that we're bringing our students back, but being cautious about doing that. We get varying reports on what is and what isn't, or what should be and what shouldn't be, and things of that nature. I was actually on a call earlier today that recommends 3 feet of social distancing rather than 6, and I'm like, well, okay, well, whose authority? You know, where's that coming from? So it's all over the place, and it's very fluid. And when I communicate to families, I say that please be patient. This information changes all the time. It's very fluid. Right now I have a task force put together of teachers, board members, administrators, myself, looking at various options in bringing our students back. Obviously, the one that we want the most is 100% of our kids coming back. The least popular, I guess, in my mind, is not bringing them back at all. But then there's also everything that falls in between. Does it look like a hybrid model? Do we go Monday, Wednesday, Friday one week and Tuesday, Thursday the next? It just depends. And again, it's all of that fluid information that's continuing to come through. We just have to make the best decision. We did put out a survey to the parents and asked their opinion on a couple items, a couple of those different scenarios. We didn't put all the scenarios out, and I know I received a few emails from parents, which is, please do, please email me, asking questions. Well, why didn't you include this? The one that, I want my kid to come back. Great, we do too, but we just need to make sure that we're doing everything appropriate and safely for their return. We want nothing more than all of our kids to come back.
Brian, here is the concern, and sometimes I don't want people to misread what I'm going to say, but I don't think there's anyone in the northeastern Pennsylvania who interviews more in the health area than I do. Okay, I think we have a great health system here with the Lehigh Valley Hospital, Hazelton, and people. And you talk to doctors who tell you off record, on record, their opinions. Then you read certain things, okay, particularly about the mask, okay. They have bombarded the public, I think, so bad that people are paranoid, and all rightly so, because they're scared. What do we believe? Oh my God, I can't. If you see a person without a mask, look at like he's a criminal or she's a criminal. And I think the media has done that, okay, and I don't think they have presented both sides, because if you read some of the doctors, okay, saying they feel the mask is not any good whatsoever, and in some cases causing problems with people, hypertension, lung problems, and then you hear the other side, okay, from the medical. So you have all this diversity, and it's, when I said it's crazy, okay. And then we have to deal with facts. I think the only person that ever gave me other than the hospital, I mean, Fletcher and Valenti and Miller have been great, information as to who got, when they get COVID, who dies from it, and they have all these statistics, etc. So it's just an unknown. I mean, I don't envy you or the board, because I don't know, like, if you do something, you're not going to get 100% agree with you. The guy's nuts. And then you say if you don't. So, I mean, that's a big dilemma you're in.
Right. It's a tremendous dilemma. And again, like I said, we want all of our kiddos back, and all of the information coming through is so fluid. Do students wear masks or not? Do teachers wear masks or not? I guess it all comes down to what the board is comfortable in doing and what the committee is comfortable in doing. And then moving from there. And then obviously we're going to listen to parents. We're certainly not going to throw their opinion away. I'm a parent, so it's really important to listen.
Folks, I'm talking to Brian Uplinger, Superintendent of the Hazelton Area School District. We come back, we spend a couple of minutes on funding and how you in the Hazelton Area District are getting ripped off. Well, what else is new, but you're getting ripped off, particularly with school tax, and where is it going, and all these promises that were made to us. All the senior citizens worked all their lives, and they have to get hammered with school tax that should have been eliminated a long time ago. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to the Sam Lesante Show. My guest is Brian Uplinger from the Superintendent of the Hazelton Area School District. SSPTV.com, folks. All the shows are there if you missed any. Brian, we're talking about the funding. Okay, you're now the, you said 12th largest district?
Correct.
In the state
of
Pennsylvania. And of the size of the district, are we getting the appropriate funding that we should be getting?
No, we are woefully underfunded. I'll give you a very brief example. We have roughly 12,000 students in the district. A number of those students are ELL, English language learners. A number of those students are also special education students. If we look to another district similar in size that's in our area, at one point they were provided with $10 million more than us, and we don't know why. We're still trying to figure out how that could happen, especially when their special education population isn't as large, or their ELL population isn't as large.
What areas are they?
I'm sorry, with?
Well, when you say the district's getting more money that we should be getting, what districts are they? What areas are they?
That'd be up the line, like Wilkes-Barre, for example. They were provided $10 million more last year than we were last year. Mm-hmm. It all comes down to the funding formula that the state has provided.
So if you have a formula, doesn't it apply to everybody?
It does apply, but it's not equally distributed across all of the districts, which is kind of crazy in my mind too.
So when you're short, as any businessman knows, if I have a budget here and I'm short I have to borrow money, okay, to pay the bills. And in this case, the school board members are up against it. What do they do to fund it, okay?
Right.
Well, it's called school tax.
Right, yes, and that is not the way to fund education. You know,
Absolutely not.
There has to be a better way, an easier way. Property taxes are incredulous. They're just the wrong way to do it. That should have been changed, as you said, many, many years ago. But that's kind of what we're stuck with right now until something happens.
Well, you have people that are working very hard so we can get our fair share, okay? And here again, not being political, but right now the current people, such as Representative Tara Toohill, Senator Udechak, Mullery and Gordner, okay, I think are all there fighting for our just due as far as funding is concerned. Am I correct in saying that?
Yes, very correct. They've been wonderful for us.
Yeah.
They've sat down with us. They've talked to us. We've asked them questions. They've taken back our suggestions. Sometimes I think it just falls on deaf ears. You know,
Not of their ears.
Not of theirs.
When they take it to the
take it back to Harrisburg.
Well, they've been experiencing that now with this COVID thing with the governor. So that's you know, and what do you see? The thing is that when Brian Uplinger says something, as we did at the beginning of the show, we could go back and check your record.
Correct.
And so these politicians who lie to seniors all the time, they lie, and they come out with these wonderful 30-second commercials that you think these people who are running for office are saints, and they do nothing for the people, and they get suckered in, and that's why senior citizens, I think, are a lot smarter these days in voting for people checking their record. If you've been in office 30, 40 years and you've done nothing, why do you continue to put them back in office? I don't understand that.
Right. That's a great question.
And it frustrates me that our senior citizens, and for that matter anyone, paying the school taxes that should have been eliminated a long time ago. I know Tara and the other people are working on that.
Right.
You have a challenge, okay? Is there anything you'd like to tell our viewers before we end the show?
Sure, that I'm available. I'm available to listen. I'm available to answer questions. I may ask you a couple just to get the record straight and make sure that I'm getting and providing you with the right information. No, we're doing everything we can within the bounds that we are provided and the boundaries. And I'm an out-of-the-box thinker. Sometimes I'm not allowed out of the box, and it has nothing to do with our board. They're phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's state regulations that I have to work with.
Well, Linda DeCosma and her group, okay, the board has been fantastic. I'm talking to Brian Uplinger, folks. First time he's been on the Sam Lesante Show, but certainly no stranger to our news, because every time we call him, he's been there, he's been here at our studio, and so we appreciate that. You're not hiding in a corner,
No,
that's for sure.
I don't hide.
We'll see you next time.